So we're going to talk about streaming retro games right now. And this is sort of a thank you to the retro community for being so awesome this year. Let me move my monitor over here, my chat over here. Rainbow Connection is just a sweet jam. I really like the key change too. Okay. Where do I start? I think I know where I start with emulation, I think. So yeah, let's say you've been watching your favorite streamers on Twitch, and you're like, hey, I like retro games. I would like to stream those games. How the frig do I do that? Well, you're in luck, because I'm about to show you how. It's easy, and if you have a computer and a microphone and a webcam, you're pretty much set to go. Aw, thanks, JC. Thanks, JC. You can download that on my Discord in the general channel. It's pinned to the general channel. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm gonna set this up on the fly. So the prerequisites are you have a computer that can handle OBS, and you know how to use OBS. We're not going to talk too much about OBS today, but I know most of your questions will probably have something to do with OBS, so I'll be happy to answer them. And let me just set up a channel point reward so you can ask questions in a queue, and I will get to as many of them as possible. So hold on a sec. This just helps me keep on track. So I'm just going to I'm going to add a new reward. It's going to cost, let's make it cost 100 channel points. AMA retro stream question. So 100 channel points, and you have to enter the question, and there's no limit to how many times you can do it. So there you go. So if you have 100 channel points, if you're in here, you probably have 100 channel points. Awesome guitars in the background. Yeah, I'm a composer. That's what I do for work. I've been a guitar player for 25 years, and I play all styles. Not really jazz. I'm self-taught, so I can pretty much fake my way through any style. You need more channel point streams? You have 20,000 for a personal visit complete with sleepover and hot cocoa? You got it, 8-bit. You got it. As soon as shit opens up, for sure. So if do you guys see that reward available? Feel free to redeem that while I start talking about setting up retro streams. So, okay. You need a computer, you need OBS, you need whatever sort of audio video things. If you want to, you don't have to have a microphone and a video setup, but it's nice for people to see you and at least hear you. It's nice for you to be able to chat with your voice. But we're going to focus on the actual retro stuff. So the first way to stream is just use emulation. And I would recommend that to pretty much anyone starting out. Even if you have all the consoles and whatever, just to get started with streaming, just do emulation because it's the easiest to set up. It's the easiest to capture. You need 2 monitors to do it because you're going to want one for your chat and one for your game. But yeah, you get your legally obtained ROM, And I'm just gonna fire up Mega Man X. Hold on. Let's do this. Okay, so now I need to go into OBS and I'm going to add a game capture source. And it's going to be capture specific window, and we'll do RetroArch. So there's my thing, right? So then we just scale it to here, and there we go. We're streaming. We're streaming, guys. And I have my iBuffalo SNES controller. It's that simple. Couple things about streaming. You want to pay attention to the scale. So like we can have 1x scale. Oops, sorry, I need to redo this. So this is 1x scale. So this is like, do you notice that's a bit blurry? You guys notice that's a bit blurry? Hold on, let me get out of this fucking shit. So this is like, it's stretching all the pixels, right? So then we can go to 2x. So this is 480p, basically, like all retro stuff basically is based, most of it is 240p. So that's a little better, but it's still blurry because it's upscaling. Your OBS is upscaling, right? Now, if you don't have a very powerful computer, or let's say you're just trying to stream on one monitor, and so you want to have your chat and your game going at the same time, right? This might be the way you have to do it. What I would recommend is, there's a few different, if you go into scale filtering, if you right-click on this window in OBS, and you go to scale filtering, there's a bunch of different ways to filter it. So I'll go through them. This is point. So what this does is there's no blurry, right? But you notice how like the bars are a little bit uneven? Do you see that? Like some of these yellow bars are like bigger than others. Yeah, so what point does is it just takes, like, I don't know, it like defaults to one value over another. Like it basically, like, some pixels are too big and some are 4 big and some are 1 big, basically. and then we have bilinear, which is nice. It's blurry, but it's more even. Bicubic is sort of, I don't know, kind of same thing. I don't really know the differences. But Langsos is like a more intelligent version of that, and it sort of knows how to see what edges are. Yeah, it's like a sharpening filter. And then there's area. I think area is the best for retro, because it's not as blurry. But if you go up to 3x, let's go, like, and this is all in your emulator window. You go to window and then windowed scale 3x. So I'll just give it a sec. It's always going to be better to downscale than upscale. So let's just go to scale filtering. We'll put it back to point, and it's a little better than it was in point, but we'll keep it on area. We'll go back to bicubic just for a sec. That's pretty good. I think that's like, at this point you've got good capture. And so let's just play a little bit of this. And I've been playing it on a CRT, so I can like speak to the latency that, like, because there's always a little bit of latency, but I think the latency is pretty good. Like I notice a little bit of lag in my jump, but it's not too bad. It feels a little sluggish to me, but it's fine. You would definitely get used to this. Like anything that's like 3 frames or less, I think you can just adjust. But if you grew up playing on CRT and that's the only way for you, unplayable, yeah. HD X4, yeah. Like we can go to, let's actually do that. Let's go to X4. And if you have a 1080p monitor, this is about as high res as it's gonna get for you. Being able to fit on your screen. If you have 1440p or higher resolution on your LCD monitor, your flat panel display or whatever, then yeah, this looks better. It's bigger. I don't know. At this point, it's hard to see the difference, right? Nice and crisp, right? And let's just explore the space of different filters. We'll go back to bicubic. It's really crisp no matter what at this point because we're downscaling at this point. Does adjusting the size by OBS resizing tax the CPU? Not really. Let me try. No, it's fine. Like it's a little bit when you're actually rescaling it. It goes up a bit, but like it's fine. Yo, an anonymous gifter. Holy shit! Thank you so much for gifting 4 subs. My mind is blown. Thank you, Anonymous. That's so nice of you.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Abnocto.
That's so nice of you. I really appreciate that. So who got one? Abnocto got one. What does the Simon say got one? Damsel in Distress got one. Nice. And Italian Grandma got one. It's so nice. Wow. What? Like I said, the retro community just is so supportive and generous. I can't believe the support. That's really amazing. That's really amazing. Yeah, thanks whoever.
An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to Dan's Land Distress.
Thanks so much. We're gonna let the sub alerts play out. The least I can do is let all these sub alerts play out. So yeah, this is basically it, right? Does anyone have any questions about emulation before we move on? It's pretty straightforward. I'm happy to explain anything before we move on. The only thing I would say is you need, for the audio, you're going to have to have desktop audio enabled so you can see you can hear your stream. Yeah, okay, so we'll leave that for now. Okay, so there is, I'm going to close this out. So there is your capture for, what's it called? For, just like the simplest way you can do it. So let's say you want to take it to the next level. Let's say you have like a console that has like classic retro games on it. Do you think Twitch will ever crack down on emulation? I don't know that they can. I don't know that they like. There's no way to tell if you don't say you're streaming retro. How you're basically brown bagging it, right? I mean, they could, but technically, like it's against a lot of like Nintendo, especially said it was illegal for you to stream any of their video games in general. That was their position up until a few years ago, is that if you want to even see the game get played, like you're paying to buy the game and the console. The main issue being that the internet isn't a place, right? Yeah. Yeah, when the Switch came out, I think they walked that back. But yeah, like PS3 has HDCP that you can't disable unless you jailbreak your system. Okay, so the next example I'm going to give is, okay, let's say you want to move down to you want to rock down to Electric Avenue. You've got a Nintendo. Let's say I'm going to use the example of a SNES Classic Mini, which is I'll hold it up here. This thing here. So this thing cost me about $100 Canadian. I don't know if they still make these, but it comes preloaded with Mega Man X and a bunch of games. And I gotta say the experience is really good. You can hack it to put your other legally obtained ROMs on it. They don't make them anymore. But like this would be the same as like a RetroPie or a Mister or a Super Analog NT, Super NT. They have them refurbished. Oh yeah, I've seen that a bit. So basically, this is simple. You just have your HDMI that you plug into your Elgato, and you have a USB output that goes into your computer. And you need to install the drivers. So I'm using an Elgato, but you can use like anything. Like I have one of those. I have it. One of those little capture card sticks or whatever that are like $20 on Amazon. You could use that too. The only thing about that is you have to either monitor through your OBS, like the gameplay, which is going to add lag for sure. Or you're going to have to split it off with an HDMI splitter. And I have an HDMI splitter here. Just one sec. So basically, like this, you plug your console into this. Yeah, look at my wardrobe, right? I wear basically this every day, though. High fashion. So you plug your console into this, and then it has two outputs. So you'd have one to your $20 capture card, and one to your monitor. Yeah, this one works great, and I like this one. This is an REI HDS 102, and this one actually removes the HDCP, so I bought this to stream my PS3 stuff. Which the only thing I've ever streamed with PS3 was actually a PS1 game, is Castlevania Chronicles. So anyway, get your capture card of choice set up, and then you want to just turn on your thing, and I'm going to switch my monitor over to my second monitor, or my third monitor over to, hopefully this doesn't crash anything. Okay, here we go. So we just have to reset this window here. Transform, reset, transform. Okay, let me just take it into a different thing here. So this is it. And then you just start your game up. Oops, I was on the wrong controller. And this thing is fucking sweet. I love this thing. You got to run and grab some lunch? All right. Thank you so much for the raid, Two Dandy Gamers. And this is the same thing. And there's no need to like, I guess you could play with this, the scale or the Debating Streeting 3D Dot Game Heroes. That's a PS3 game, right? The video's slightly choppy. Yeah, the problem with those sticks is that, okay, the two issues I have with the little $20 stick, the quality, like, is the video quality is really compressed. Yeah, it's MJPEG. So it's not going to be as good as an Elgato, which is uses a different method or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the deal with compression. I don't know too much about that. I gotta say, the SNES Mini controller feels really good. I'm just gonna play this for a bit. So this is like, I would say that this would be a good option if you don't want to run too many. Like, let's say your computer is a little bit older, and you don't want to tax it. Like, emulation doesn't really take up that much resources on your computer, but I find the lag is a little better on this. I think you're still getting a frame of lag maybe, but it's pretty good. Yeah, I've actually done that. Grandma. That's how I streamed Chrono Trigger. When that was the first retro game that I streamed. So, anybody have any questions about streaming with a modern console with an HDMI output? This would go for like the Switch or a PlayStation or a Mister. Anything, RetroPie, anything that has an HDMI output. This would be the way you stream it. You just go into OBS, find your capture card as a source. Yeah, low-end computers should be able to, at least on Windows. For some reason, they don't run. If you have a Mac, I would say that you're at a double disadvantage for streaming. Because OBS on Mac does not run as well, in my experience. I run it for my music streams on my Mac. It's actually the same computer, because I run a Hackintosh dual boot. So I would suggest thinking about either installing Boot Camp or getting a PC to stream. And you can build a PC for pretty cheap that can stream retro games. Like, I'm talking like under $500. You're good to go. You don't need anything fancy. Like, if A.A. Wallace is still here, I think he is. I gave him my 10-year-old computer. And he streams 3-4 times a week on it. He is. Nice. I had this computer that was just sitting around, and I'm like, I don't want to make this e-waste. Like, this is still good. And I noticed AA was streaming on his, like, brand new MacBook and having a rough go, like it was overheating. And, you know, the old PC, I think, did much better. So that's... Okay, we've covered emulation. We've covered consoles. Any questions before I move on? Because we're going to get into the good stuff now. We're going to get into, like, consoles, like retro, original hardware. Pretty sure this stuff is self-explanatory for a lot of people. So let's go back to my retro thing. Yeah, you're interested in the original retro stuff? Okay, so let's take one of my SNESes. So this is this was made in 93, I think. So there's a few different kinds of SNES. They revised the motherboard a bunch of times. You still use a tube TV for some consoles? Awesome. Yeah, that's what I use. That's what I was using earlier for Mega Man X. So let's not go full on CRT setup yet. Let's start with, I have this console, and I have two LCD like flat screen monitors. I want to stream video games with my original hardware. How can I do that? How do I get, because this is what you get. Like, this is what you get out of a console. How do I get this into the computer? So that's the first question you're probably going to ask when you start streaming retro games. So what you need is something that takes this and gives you HDMI on the other end. And we call that an upscaler because it takes the 240p signal from your analog like output of your retro console and converts it to something that a capture card can see. So there's lots of options. You can get, do you guys know Skinnerd? Let me shout out Skinnerd, one of my favorite retro streamers, just a really chill guy. I'll tell you what he uses. Go follow Skinnerd. Tell me his quality doesn't look pretty amazing. He uses a 1999. It's like what you'd use to capture your old home videos from a VCR. And it has 3 like yellow ketchup, mustard, and mayo cables. And outputs it doesn't even have to put HDMI. It outputs USB, which I don't know what the kind of lag that is, but this is something I'd recommend for most people. Something made by RetroTink. So if you, I think it's just retrotink.com. I don't know. I might even have links below. Is this the right link? Yeah. So they have a bunch of different options. Let me actually go through some of these with you. One sec. There we go. Display capture. We're going to fix this so you get the whole thing. Okay. So here's RetroTink. Here's the website. Yeah, it works really well. It's this guy Mike Chi who he did all this himself. So we have. Oh, hold on. Let me get chat in a different window here. I want to put you guys over here now. There we go. So the one I recommend, if money is no object and you want simple, does everything, the RetroTink 2X Pro is my recommendation. This is what I started using when I started capturing retro consoles. Do they work with every console? Pretty much. I don't know a console that doesn't work with a RetroTink because it has all the inputs. Excuse me. So it has this green will take your yellow composite input. So that's sorry, I guess you can't see me. Hold on. Where's my camera? There I am. Hey, Holy Rusted Metal, thank you so much for the follow. So this will go into the green one, and then red and white go into the ones on the left there. I actually have this one, but I lent it to our boy Contra, and he's using this every day to stream. So that's what Contra uses. Yeah, Rusty's here. Yeah, and there's like, it basically takes the 240p input and outputs 480p output over HDMI. So that will go into your capture card. It also has this green, blue, red. That'll also take composite input, or sorry, component input. I will get to all your questions as soon as we're done this. So I'll show you what that looks like. Hold on. So some consoles have the ability to output RGB, which is a better quality thing. And we'll actually show you the difference today. So this is hold on. Let me go to my intro screen. This is actually a cable made by a company called HD Retrovision. And it basically, this is what I use for Genesis. And I have an adapter that I can use it with my PS2 and PS1. Yeah, so Genesis, PS1, PS2, and SNES have like built-in RGB output, so that'll give you the best quality. And then this RetroTink also has on the side here, it has an S-Video input. So that's what you're going to want to use if you have a unmodded N64. What's up, Pocket? Welcome back. I'm going to sort of... Sorry about that auto mod, Rusty. So let's just put this into practice. This is I have this one here. I bought this for PS2. It's a multi. It's basically the RetroTink Pro, but it will give you, this captures 480p inputs as well. So this would be we'll get into this on a different stream. This is like advanced, I guess. Yeah, those cables, they're out of stock a lot, but I think they're worth the wait. Yeah, you got auto modded for N64. I don't know. I don't understand. But this is the RetroTink multi or whatever that we're gonna hook up with composite inputs. So the ketchup and mustard and mayo cables. So we're just gonna plug it all in. And we're gonna plug in the HDMI. This is the same thing that was coming out of the SNES Mini, and it's going into my capture device. And let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I just need to get power to this thing. One sec. Also need to get the game out of the other SNES. Okay, so power. We got. Let's see here. Oh, we need power for this device too. So this takes just USB power. There we go. Okay. So there we go. We're capturing we're original hardware now, baby. So I'm monitoring this on my flat screen, my flat panel monitor, and we're gonna go in and fire up Mega Man X. And do you guys notice something? Anybody notice something a little funny? It's all stretched. Let's just get to the opening screen. By the way, I'm using an EverDrive. So here's the problem. We need to put this into the right aspect ratio. Yeah, it's squishy, right? So let's put this in the right aspect ratio. So what you want to do is you want to get 4:3. Actually, this, I'll tell you this, the RetroTink outputs 720 by 480. But that's not 4:3. So what we can do is actually just put a filter on in OBS. Hold on, I'll show you on this screen here. You guys see that? We can put a filter on it called scaling aspect ratio. And then we just want to do area scale filtering and resolution 4:3. And then we go back to this. And now we just have to adjust it. And we're good. How about that, guys? So this is original hardware with a composite output. So no retrovision cables needed. I think it looks pretty good. I think the RetroTank stuff does a really good job with composite. The lag to me is the same as it feels the same to me as the other one, the SNES Mini. So I don't know. It's pretty good. I gotta say, this is what I'd recommend if you're starting out with original hardware. You don't want to use. You don't have a CRT necessarily, or you do, but it's like tough to incorporate. This is a really simple way to do original hardware, original carts if you got them. Yeah, the RetroTank Mini's great. The one thing I'll say is, like, you notice that it's a little bit blurry. You can see like these little diagonal lines. I don't know if you guys can see those little diagonal lines. It's not as good of an output as RGB, but you know, you're into like this is just what it is when you start streaming with hardware. Yeah, it's a little dark, a little blurry, right? So we have the RetroTank outputting at 480p. That's the default output of it. We can also do pass-through, and that will probably just bork it. I probably actually won't do that, just because we'll do it. We'll do it for science. So we're in line 2x mode on the RetroTank. But if we switch to... How do I do this? I need a little thing to switch. That didn't work. So it won't even work at the other one. And then we have a comb filter, so we can do retro or auto. So we're set to retro now, and then this is auto. Auto is like it's more blurry, but there's less diagonal lines. Yeah, SNES can also do S-Video. I don't actually have an S-Video SNES cable, but you can get better output with that. Small, cheap Insignia TV from Best Buy that works with pass-through on the RetroTank. That's cool. Yeah, S-Video through RetroTank. Perfect. So, for science, let's unplug this, and we'll show you the difference when you get the HD Retrovision cables. One sec. Buzz. I plugged the red of the RGB cable into the audio. Okay, now we just have to hit the button, the input button, and switch it to. There we go. So that's the RGB cable. Yo, what's up, Christo? So let's see what that looks like. You notice the colors are a lot better. Yeah, it's brighter. Oh, the one thing I'll say is the Retrovision cables have two modes. So there's actually a high pass filter for the video because the later revision SNES consoles are way brighter. So you have to kind of like chill it out. That's actually what it should be. So that's even better. So my other console is a 1-chip. So this is actually what you'll be dealing with. Yeah, this is much better, right? It's still a little blurry to me. And we'll get into why. Yeah, HD Retrovision is a RGB cable. And like pretty much one of the only popular the main console that doesn't have auto RGB is the like built-in RGB is the NES. So you want to mod your NES if you want the RGB output from that. Let me show you the difference quickly. If anyone's curious, if anyone knows about like 1-chip versus 2-chip NES consoles, I'll show you the difference right now between 1-chip and 2-chip. So this is a 2-chip. So this is has really noticeably blurry RGB output. There's a bit of like kind of digital or sort of analog noise in the signal. But I'm going to switch it right now to my other SNES console. Just one sec. Almost back. Okay. So this is the 1-chip. Oops. Looks a lot better to me. Snag his guitars while he's not looking. Oh, the one thing though is we have to switch back it's too bright now. Yeah, a lot of people like see my problem is I kind of went whole hog into the ultimate okay, we're having a little problem with the retro. You guys see that? It's sort of glitching out. Let me just do this. Okay. I'm going to reset the Elgato. One sec. I don't know why it's doing that. These are the kind of problems you'll start having once you run into once you get going on the retro consoles. But what I mean by 1-chip is, okay, in 1995, this is a great stream. Thanks, man. In 1995, they switched out the motherboard in the SNES. And they combined 2 chips, the CPU and the APU, I think it is, into 1 chip. And for whatever reason, it has noticeably better RGB output. Let's actually get into the game so we can see. The one thing you'll notice is it's very bright now, right? So we're going to want to chill that out. So this is what it should be. There's still a few like jail bars in it. You guys see the jail bars you can really notice it in the purple in the sky here. You can see some lines, vertical lines. You love seeing cleaner looks. Like what tech can do for the D games is awesome. Yeah. So this is still the retro tank. Oh shit. APU is combined CPU and GPU threaded. Okay. There you go. Yeah, the reason they call it one chip is when you like the only way to tell is to really open up the SNES, and the revision is literally called one chip. It'll say SNES one chip dash one chip. And I'm going to give you guys a good resource for this. Bookmark this site. If you go to retrorgb.com, I think it is. The guy there, Rob, what a fucking beauty. Is it Retro RGB? Yeah, retrorgb.com. So please support him. He will, like, this guy has gone down the rabbit hole, and he's basically done everything you can do with. You do cap consoles? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not saying I'm the authority on any of this stuff. I did a lot of research this year, and I just wanted to pass it on. So I think this looks pretty good. There's a bit of a glitch, which I don't know. It's just one of those gremlins that get in your system. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is. So how do we get from this to how would we improve on this? The next step we're going to do is we're going to actually hook up a CRT. So what do we need to do? VR, yeah. So what do we need to do to hook up a CRT? Let's get in my... I'm going to move you guys over here. One sec. It's having some... There we go. So we want to add a CRT. So we're gonna need a way to get signal to our CRT. What's up, kids? Good to see you, man. We're gonna need a way to get signal to our CRT, but also to our capture card. So we're gonna need to split the signal coming out of our RGB cables, or our this works for composite as well. And the other thing is you got to have a TV if you want to do RGB. You gotta get a TV that has RGB in. Most North American ones don't. If you're in EU, you probably have a SCART cable, which will do RGB. Yeah, you have a PVM, you're good to go. Actually, most PVMs have RGB, but not all of them. So let me show you what I use. This is what I use. Let's see if I can make this bigger. So this has it has one set of RGB inputs and then 3 outputs. So it's powered, so it's buffered or whatever. So basically you plug into the input and then you output 1 to your TV and then output 2 to your RetroTink or your OSSC. So let's do that. Hold on a sec. this is a pain. Sorry, guys. Okay, and while we're at it, just to save time, we're going to switch over to the OSSC. We're just going to go full hog into retro. So now we're going to be on a CRT. Half the input's going there, and half the input is going to the TV or to the capture card. How am I doing this? Why is it not working? Because we want to be on the data path, right? Okay, so here we are. Actually, let me take it a step back. The OSSC, this is what you're going to get with an OSSC. An OSSC is just another type of upscaler. And here's what you're going to get with that. Let's go into our menu. Settings, option, load profile. Okay, here we go. Load profile default. So this is what it looks like when you get your OSSC. It's noticeably better, I think, than the RetroTank stuff. You could stream light gun games. Yeah, for sure, I could. So this is it. It's pretty it's still a little blurry, right? Mod your Wii and get Wii to HDMI. Yeah, totally. That's a great way to do it. And that way your Wii has HDMI output and also component output, right? So you could take that to any TV, right? But yeah, so this is us going down the rabbit hole with original hardware. And we have our CRT TV. We have RGB output from our SNES. Half of it's going to the TV, half of it's going to our OSSC, and the OSSC is upscaling it and going to the capture card. You guys follow me? Follow me, camera guy? And here we are, streaming Mega Man. And this is not what you were seeing earlier. Hold on, where's my line in audio? There we go. And I'll get out of this menu here. This is pretty okay, right? The Wii U is the ultimate emulation thing. Do you have a Nintendo installed? Right, I'm on the TV now. The lag is non-existent now. The only lag is like whatever is built into the SNES. It feels really good. Okay, but let's take this one step further, and I'm actually going to switch over to a different game to show you what I'm talking about here. Let's get optimal timings for our OSSC. Oops. We're going to do this. And what do I mean by optimal timings? You watch from PC. 480p is enough? It's true. I mean, I there's no argument there. 480p is plenty. Emulation is plenty. Who cares, right? This is just if you want, right? This is all optional. It's all optional. If you want to take it here, you can take it here. So this is what I use to calibrate a lot of my streams. It's called a 240p test suite. It's a free thing that you can download. If you have a like a flash cart, like an EverDrive, you can put this on your system. Wish you could afford OSSC. Yeah, they're about $150 on Amazon. Let's go to the checkerboard. Okay, you're looking at a beautiful display of a checkerboard. It's not as clear as it could be, and we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna tell you if you get an OSSC, you absolutely need to go to this guy Firebrand X's website. I'm gonna link that right now, and get the optimal timings for it. So these are basically. I'm trying to divide by it's all budget at that point. The OSSC is the best for me. It's the best for me. So if you go to Firebrand X, he's got you can get into let's actually go through it. If you look here, he has all these profiles pre-downloaded that you can put on a micro USB micro SD stick that in your OSSC and get perfect timings for your consoles. So what do I mean by timings? Okay, analog output of consoles, they don't output pixels. They output a constant stream of RGB or whatever. And then they have a signal to sort of reset it. I don't really want to get into this too much because I barely understand it. But we're gonna set the timings for our thing. Hold on a sec. SNES optimal timings OSSC. So basically, this is what Firebrand X has kind of put out there for the Super Nintendo. So we go into our OSSC, and let me get this on a different monitor. And we have to put these timings in. And that's why I recommend just download the presets that he's already done the legwork. So I would download the presets and then tip him $5 for his hard work or whatever it is. So we're going to go in and do it manually there for science. And then I'll answer all your questions. So we're going to go to the menu. We're going to go to video in. This is probably the most boring thing I've ever done. Video LPF. We want to set this to 9 megahertz. We want this to be, doesn't say, you can get really nerdy here, right? And then we will go to sampling options and set this. We don't want audio. We don't want auto. We want advanced timing. So the sample rate is going to be 341. Can we just input that? No, we have to scroll back. So this is just going to bork my system. Anyway, let's just go to one that I've made at home already. Let's just let's get out of here. Let's get out of here because this would take me a long time to do. But I would just say download the things that Firebrand does. Settings, and I'm going to switch to SNES 256. And then you notice this looks a little weird, right? Because the output is wrong. It's sort of, yeah. This is it's a lot of pain in the ass for not much gain, right? So we're going to load this, and then we want the output options to be, hold on. Output option, we want line 5x. And then we want to take this. And what did we do here? Fuck. We want to fix this somehow. How did I do this again? There, that's what I'm used to. So if we load up Mega Man now. So those are optimal timings. So you get basically like a crisper output from that. It's complicated. It's almost not worth the effort. But all this to say, if you want the best analog capture card, you get your DataPath E1S, you get your OSSC, you load up the game, and people are going to be like, you see this? They'd be like, oh, he's playing on emulator. Looks just like the emulator. Let's take it right back to where we started. Let's take it right back to where we started. RetroArch. And I'll my iBuffalo. Sorry. And here we are. Looks exactly the same, right? So why would you spend fucking $1,000 to make it look like that? Sorry, I fucked something up here. There we go. Okay, let's get to your questions. If you don't already know, we have questions that you can get answered for channel points. 100 channel points for your question. I'm going to switch to full screen for a sec. There we go. All right. Yeah, emulate. Oh, that's not what I want. That was for my old Q&A thing that I did with Toastmat after I finished FF7. Yeah, emulate. But if you emulate, do it right? Do it right. Oh, and I'll show you my my pick. This is what my setup looks like, by the way. This is all the stuff I use today. Kind of a mess. Those are the 3 consoles we use today. Okay, so let's get to your questions. Let me get to my rewards. Okay, preferred method of retro streaming is the one I just showed you at the end. Anyone other questions? Any other questions? My preferred way is the best way that I've, spent the time and the dough to get. What USB controller do you recommend for SNES? I recommend the iBuffalo. This one right here. It's great. It feels like I have an original Super Famicom Japanese one. The Super Famicom one is a little bit thicker, feels a little bit heftier, but the buttons and the D-pad feel pretty similar. The Famicom is a little less plasticky, but yeah, iBuffalo. I don't know if they still make them, but that's what I use. Yeah, unless you dump your own. If you dump your own ROMs off the cart, yeah, you can do that. There's stuff you can get. There's something you can get that allows you to dump ROMs off original cartridges, so you can have a legally obtained backup. Any other questions? I think. Oh, here we go. Jimmy's got one. What feels more fun to stream to me? Retro or new? It's different, right? It's different. I don't know if there's like a more fun answer. I will say that retro is more fun to me because of the community, because of you guys. You guys make it fun because it's more about a shared experience that we've all either have or want to have or are having. The people like, and a lot of that's based on my age, right? I'm 42 years old. I grew up owning, I remember a time before there was an NES. And I remember when it first came out and how fucking amazing that was. Let me put on some tunes. Put on my my intro music. Actually, that's fucking up for me. I won't do that. So yeah, I like retro because, you know, I'm nostalgic for it. I like retro because the community is non-toxic for the most part. Innocence of youth, yeah. You have to worry about what type of music you include in your stream. Hell yeah, you do. Yeah, don't play copyrighted music. And it's okay. Everything I've played today is copyrighted music. Even the fucking 8-bit remix I made, I didn't write Rainbow Connection. Some other dude wrote that, right? Some other dude wrote that. And I'm a content creator. I make music for a living. And most of my money that I earn in my life comes from copyright. Comes being paid legally for stuff that gets used on TV and in movies and stuff, right? So I see it from both sides because I'm a streamer who uses stuff illegally. But, you know, if you want to be totally safe, don't even have game music playing, right? But I mean, I think the laws need to change. I think fair use needs to change. But the one thing that I will say in defense of the DMCA's, because it's not the artists that are DMCAing people, but I think people who create music deserve to be compensated. Like, if you have a stream where you're charging, 200 bits for a song request, why doesn't the guy who wrote the song or the indie label who released that recording get any part of that? That's my view. I think that's fair. Like, we're not talking about corporations. We're talking about people. Corporations own a lot of rights, but they paid for those rights. And nobody has to sign with a major label, right? And most people don't now. It would be a great idea. Like, Twitch can do it. They just need to. It's a long road to negotiate those rights. Like, think about how long it was from when Spotify started. Before that, for when Napster started to when Spotify launched. Think of all like the roads. We had to create the demand. We want digital music. We want it to be easily obtainable, and we want it to work properly and be good quality. And we're willing to pay $10 a month for it. So why don't we pay $10 a month for why don't we? I would be happy to give up a portion of my Twitch revenue, my Twitch income, to be able to play whatever songs that I want. Is it Discord for sharing music for streamers? You can definitely share it in my stream, in my Discord if you want. And people have done that. DMCA free music. That's cool. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Okay, where is my screen here? Got some more questions. Sorry. Here we go. Okay, Jimmy's question is complete. Any bucket list retro games? Yes. Well, the backlog is my bucket list, Jimmy. The backlog is my bucket list because I've said before, like I didn't play games for a long time because I was so focused on my music career, and so I missed out on the whole 16-bit era and beyond. And the first console I got was a Wii U. The first adult console that I owned was a Wii U, and I just wanted to play Mario Maker. Hey, Koala, what's up? Yeah, no problem. I didn't even know you streamed, but I was so happy to be able to raid you yesterday. So go follow Koala, guys. What was I on about? Oh yeah, bucket list games. Okay, so the ones that I really want to do in the coming year, retro bucket list. I guess we got to put Super Metroid on there. That's like, and Link to the Past. Let's just put those two on. Games that I'm not necessarily looking forward to, but like I gotta do them. You gotta do both of those games. Ninja Gaiden. I want to play all those games. Gotta play Ninja Gaiden. What else? We got through a lot of bucket list games this year. I had never played Streets of Rage 2, or if I had, it'd only been for like 5 minutes. That was amazing to play. It was cool to beat Sonic 1, 2, and 3 on stream. I don't know. I can't think of any other bucket list games, but we've tried to play as many retro games as possible in the next year. Who's got more questions? Okay, Violet. I keep hearing people talking about RetroArch. You download the program, you're very confused and stupid. Doesn't seem to be... Yeah, what RetroArch is... Or RetroArch? Is it RetroArch? You listened to my tune from yesterday? Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, a lot of fun making that. Let's put that on again for fun. Let's have some background music while we chat. That sounds fucked to me. Hold on. Does that sound fucked to you guys? So, switch this. There we go. Arc. Yeah, no, it is ARCH. So what RetroArch or RetroArch is, it's an amalgamator of emulator cores. So it's basically a one-stop shop program that will, it's not an emulator, but it can download and launch emulators for any system that you'd want to stream ROMs for. Could you use this? I mean, I give anyone the right to use the master that I own. You can use that. But, I mean, if we're speaking legally, you need permission from the publisher of the song. But who's going to say anything, right? I just do it. Better to ask for forgiveness, beg for forgiveness than ask for permission. Any advantages to using RetroArch versus the native emulator client? A couple things. If you have a lot of systems that you're streaming, it's like a one-stop shop. You can install RetroArch or RetroArch on like a Wii U and just have like a hardware console that has all of these things, all of these cores together, like your SNES, your NES, Genesis, whatever it is, Jaguar. Yeah, you wouldn't have to switch. Well, you would. You might, because it opens the it opens the emulator. Genesis, exactly, Jimmy. Yeah, you know, if all your streaming is Earthbound, then just stick with SNES 9X or whatever. Yeah, I'm a gun for hire. This gun's for hire. If you guys need music for anything, I make music for what I do in my how I make my living is I write music for commercials, for TV shows, and for films, both long and short. You'd like to inquire about an 8-bit version? You can inquire, Jimmy. We can talk for sure. I did one for 8-bit Mansion. I did that Doom remix. We can listen to that Doom remix, I guess. Where is that? Where did I put that? Oh, I pinned it here. This is the 8-bit remix of a song from Doom Eternal I made for 8-bit Mansion. 8-bit one of your band songs? Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. That'd be really fun. Be really fun. But yeah, I write songs too. I mean, remixes are fun, but I like writing songs too. I do score, you know. I do a lot of work in kids programming. So I do like animation music for cartoons. But yeah, I've done a couple series, done a couple features, write songs. Anything else? I think I'm just getting long in the tooth at this point, and I got yoga in about 10 minutes, so I probably should just call it. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. It's really, really nice to be welcomed back to Retro by this amazing community. I really appreciate it, and I'll do more tech talks. And if you have any questions, feel free to get at me in the Discord. I have a tech support, a tech talk section. And if you're not in my Discord, this is it. Yeah, thanks so much for hanging out, Rex. And give me a follow if you want to see more. I'm going to be back tomorrow for more Mega Man X. But let's raid somebody right now. Let's raid somebody in the retro community. Who's streaming retro right now? I mean, I want to go see Contra. Is he still doing Punch-Out? Yes. Our boy Contra is trying to beat Mike Tyson. Thank you, Rex. Thanks for the follow. Let's go raid him. Yeah, Contra is somebody I know in real life. And I met right before the pandemic started, and we've worked on music stuff together, but we also are just streaming buds now. Yeah, he's a big nerd. Let's give him the old scuba raid. So copy and paste this into your booper. Punch-Out match. I think he's gonna win. Okay, let's go blow up his chat with love, and I'll see you tomorrow, guys. 10:30 Eastern time every weekday. 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Love you guys. Oh.